Africa Energy Week was African Renaissance. What would you say was your highlight?
Well, actually, I mean, attending these conferences for me is not so much what has been said during the conferences. It's more about the networking. And it's been a very rich environment of various people that I have been meeting in, especially on the financing, funding area. So that bit has been very rich for me. So it's not so much the content of the actual conference.
Look, I mean, I think we're having very robust discussions around what's the right direction the African continent should be going. Obviously, decarbonization is a critical topic, but also how do we do it in a way that makes sense for us as Africans and as African countries? So to do it in the right stages to ensure that we can continue to industrialize, continue to create jobs, and continue to take advantage of the natural resources that the continent possesses as well.
The key highlight for me is I've always believed in Afro-capitalism. I've always believed that Africa can develop Africa. Africa does not need to go begging the West or begging another person to help us. So for me, it's an exciting time, a week out here in Cape Town, discussing how we can bring energy to Africa. Africa is a continent that is so blessed, but ravaged by poverty. I want to see both the government and those in the private sector like us working closely together. Africa can develop Africa, using Africans at home and in diaspora. It's an exciting time and season.
There's a really big opportunity now in Africa that we can start from a perspective of what is the best way to go about the energy transition, and we can then do decentralized energy, that you've got the optimal flow of energy from both the supply of energy and the demand of energy. And we have this great opportunity to just do this as logically as possible without having as great transition costs as the West, as the global North has. We can just do it right the first time around, as was also the case with mobile phones. It just went straight to mobile phones, and if you look at both Africa and the global North, at the moment everyone's on mobile phones. So we don't need to go that pathway that Europe, America and so on went. We can just straight away optimal energy, look at what is the optimal energy mix, and just get everyone to have their energy source that's reliable, that's low in cost and optimally low in carbon as well.
So for me, the biggest highlight has been just the impact that industrialization can bring to the sector. So one, being able to build new industries at scale, being able to develop our skills base, and also deploying private capital, right, in emerging markets. So for me, that's been the biggest takeaway from the conference. And I think we need to start seeing development of businesses, black business in the energy sector. And I think as Africa, this is our time, right? We need to be at the forefront of also taking ownership in terms of industrializing the sector and basically just transforming the energy sector on the African continent.
Okay, for me, the key highlight of this Africa Energy Week was the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony was phenomenal. Bringing energy and also culture together and talking about how we can alleviate energy poverty by 2030 was very significant for me.
For me, the key highlight, beyond the very interesting panels that we attended, was the event that they had for women. And I don't know if it was on the program, but actually that was really unexpected for me. And we had all these, maybe about 50 or even more women together. Everybody introduced themselves, and then we networked immediately. It's like we had all been waiting for that event. Women only, talking together, no barriers, nothing. It was great. It was